Hi everyone, I'm Ann Abney. I'm the Special Projects Archivist with South Carolina Political Collections, also called SCPC, here at the University of South Carolina. I'm going to give you a brief tour of the Ernest F. Hollings Special Collections Library. The coronavirus pandemic has brought many changes to the university, and Hollings Library is no exception. We are currently offering on-site research by appointment only. What that means is that if you want to do research in the Hollings Library, you will need to contact the appropriate department. Their emails are on the screen to set up a time to visit. You'll also need to request materials in advance so we can have them pulled and ready to go for you. When you arrive at the front entrance of Thomas Cooper Library, we will have someone to greet you and take you back to the Hollings Reading Room. Our website is the best place to get up-to-date information on hours and any changes to access. In addition, our websites provide information about collections and materials, and you can also contact the departments for more guidance about possible resources for your research. The Ernest F. Hollings Special Collections Library is connected to Thomas Cooper by a bridge at the back of the main floor, next to Starbucks. The Hollings Library is 3 floors, but only the main floor is accessible to the public. The departments housed in the Hollings Library are the Irvin Department of Rare Books and Special Collections, SCPC, and Digital Collections. I'll go into a little more detail later about the different departments. While the gate on the bridge is down for the time being, normally when you come across the bridge, you'll be in the Britain Gallery. The door you see straight ahead is to the Smith Reading Room. There are galleries on either side of the reading room, and the program room, which holds larger library and campus events, is behind it. If you have set up an appointment to do research in the library, your first stop is the registration desk. Library faculty and staff are here to help with questions about our holdings and our procedures. If this is the first time you're researching this academic year, you'll need to register. It's a simple form, and we'll get a photocopy of a form of ID. Your Carolina card will work. Once you've registered, you'll need to put most everything you brought with you into a locker located behind the registration desk. A list of what you can take into the reading room can be found on our website, but in general, laptops, notes, phones, on silent please, cameras, and pencils are allowed. This is our reading room. It's shared between the Irvin Department of Rare Books and Special Collections and South Carolina Political Collections. Once you've registered and gotten settled, the staff member at the desk will help you with the materials you requested. They can also help figure out what to request for your next visit. Although you may request several boxes of archival material at once, we ask that you use one box at a time, one folder at a time. This is to help make sure everything stays in order. If you have any questions about taking pictures or ways to handle the records, let the person at the desk know. Again, we're here to help. While the Hollings Library has limited access right now, the galleries are designed to display both semi-permanent and rotating exhibits. The Irvin Department has a gallery on the right with SCPCs on the left. These exhibits rotate, usually every semester, so there's always something new to check out. The main floor of Hollings is all public areas. The 2 lower floors are secure floors reserved for staff work areas and for storage of our collections. These are areas you won't normally see unless you are on a guided tour or come to work for us. The Irvin Department of Rare Books and Special Collections recently acquired a large comic book collection, but that is only a small part of their more than 525,000 rare books, documents, and other items for research. They've got everything from medieval manuscripts to books on early computing, and large collections of American and English literature, Scottish literature, children's literature, and natural history and the sciences. The Digital Collections Department has digitized and made available over 500,000 rare, unique library materials such as newspapers, diaries, photographs, and maps for you to use in your projects and papers. They work with all departments of the University Library on creating digital versions of our holdings and sharing them online. And the last department in Hollings is South Carolina Political Collections, which you've heard me refer to as SCPC. We hold the papers of many of South Carolina's representatives in Congress and the General Assembly, activist groups, journalists, and other prominent South Carolinians. For example, we have the papers of the Democratic and Republican parties of South Carolina, the League of Women Voters of South Carolina, as well as Senator Ernest Hollings, U.S. Secretary of Education Dick Riley, and cartoonist Walt Lautner. We currently hold more than 125 collections, many of which are open for research. In addition to paper and audiovisual materials, we also have a range of objects from donors or collected by staff. These things include a signed fire extinguisher and an Aflac duck from the Democratic National Convention. As expected, with political campaigns comes a lot of objects, everything from buttons to bumper stickers. We store these in our ephemera files. Most of the ephemera files go with specific collections, but there are things SCPC has collected over the years, like those buttons from the recent presidential campaign. Sometimes we get more copies of a bumper sticker than we know what to do with, and we have often used them as bipartisan decorations on cards and in our workspace. In 2000, the presidential election was marked with controversy over hanging chads on Florida ballots. We have one of the voting booths that was used in that election. Among our other memorabilia are two cardboard cutouts, one of Representative Joe Wilson, shown here, and one of Senator Olin Johnston. When we get a collection of papers, sometimes things are neatly organized by the donor or his or her staff. Other times, papers that arrive may look more like this. It might be a mixture of topics and have random things that don't belong, like a 1989 sports section of the Washington Post. Our job as archivists is to take everything and sort and organize it. When it's all done, a box might look like this. Everything is in order, foldered, and labeled. We'll create a finding aid, which includes biographical information, an overview of the collection, and a detailed list of those folders so that you can find what you are interested in researching. Our finding aids are available at our website through the U of SC Libraries page. Continuing on the building tour, from the staff level, if you go down one floor in Hollings, you'll be where we keep our collections, also known as the stacks. Again, this is a secure space and a place you normally wouldn't see when visiting Hollings, but we wanted to show you what they look like. The stacks are shared between the Irvin department and SCPC. We have movable compact shelving that allows us to store more records in a smaller amount of space. The rows are on tracks that move left or right depending on which row you want to get into. The rows have motion sensors, so if there's something or someone in there, they won't move until reset. And if someone does accidentally reset it and you're still in there, you can stop it with your foot. The stack space is also kept at a cool temperature for the best conditions for the books and papers. Here's an example of a row of SCPC boxes. There are 9 shelves in a compartment and 6 compartments in a row, so we can fit 162 boxes in a row. Each box holds around 2,500 pages, so a row of shelving can have 405,000 pieces of paper. Because our collections are often large, we don't have a list of every document in our archive, or even every document in most collections. If you come to research, you'll look at our finding aids and determine which folders might have what you're looking for. The archivists and librarians at the Hollings Library are ready to help guide you, even if you make a request via phone, email, or chat. We also have oversized material down in the stacks. This can be scrapbooks a donor might have created, or oversized posters from a campaign. We also have an art rack for any framed materials we might have gotten, as well as big banners or signs from campaigns or events. I'll end with what I think is our most unusual item at SCPC, a car hood. Cartoonist Kate Sally Palmer and a group of other cartoonists decorated a family car they named the Diesel Easel. They drove it around, partially to embarrass Kate Sally Palmer's children, expecting it to break down shortly. When it eventually did, Sally Palmer kept the hood of the car and donated it to SCPC along with her cartoon collection. We look forward to helping you with your research, or in satisfying your curiosity about a topic within our holdings. And when the Ernest F. Hollings Special Collections Library eventually reopens fully to the public, we will welcome you back to explore our exhibits and in-person programming.